Maryland Chesapeake Bay Week is a great reminder of the work we have ahead of us as we face a multitude of growing environmental threats. It's incredibly important that Maryland is a leader in addressing these threats, and as the largest county in Maryland, which is often on the forefront of environmental protections, Montgomery County has a very important role to play in this effort too. I'm happy to share with my colleagues that the ban on balloon releases that we passed at the request of many advocates in our county last year, in fact, helped push the General Assembly to follow our lead and ban balloon releases statewide during the 2021 legislative session. As you all know, the Bay is not only Maryland's most defining natural feature, it's central to Maryland's economy and responsible for thousands of jobs. Thanks to legislation we have passed at the local and state level, the Bay has been making progress, and that's been borne out in our crab and oyster population. But plenty of work lies still ahead as our Bay faces numerous threats, including the plans to expand 495 and 270, which have catastrophic stormwater implications as well as climate implications. I'm very grateful to be joined by advocates including Josh Kurtz, the Maryland Executive Director of the Chesapeake Bay Foundation, Jean Braha of the Stormwater Partners Network, and Sheldon Fishman, representing the Montgomery County Climate Action Coalition. These advocates are working every day to ensure we have a healthy and clean bay. I hope you'll come back to join us in June when Council Members Katz and Rice will lead our county recognition of Chesapeake Bay Awareness Week. So with that, I'll first turn it over to Josh Kurtz, who will say a few words, and then to Sheldon Fishman. Josh?
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Council President Hucker. It's great to be here. Thank you so much for this proclamation. As you said, the Bay is critically important to the state, and we are so thankful for the leadership in the county and for all the partners that are working here to really help us strive to achieve the blueprint, the Bay Blueprint that's going to be up in 2025. We know we've got a ways to go, but we need this continued strong leadership, these opportunities to educate the public, as you said. And I also just wanted to flag the importance of climate action for the Bay. We're seeing the climate change making this a far more difficult task than we thought to restore the Bay, and having advocates that are working in the climate space, working on the ground on stormwater issues in Montgomery County is critical to the success. So I want to thank you all for your leadership, for bringing such strong partners together, and for our continued efforts to really restore this incredible national treasure. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Jean?
Thank you, Councilmember Hucker. I'm delighted on behalf of the Stormwater Partners Network, but also in my day job as Executive Director of Rock Creek Conservancy to have this proclamation recognizing the Bay, as well as the wonderful watersheds within Montgomery County that feed into that. This is our second Earth Day during the pandemic, and I'm delighted that this one is causing me to break out my dress clothes a little bit more than last year. Which signals to a lot of progress ahead, for which we have great thanks to the council for many of your efforts advocating to get us to that point. But it's also a great opportunity for us to reflect on what we've learned and gained appreciation for over the last year that we should really hold on to as we move back to whatever the new normal is. And I think that we have seen very clearly the contribution to quality of life that our waterways, our parklands, and our environment more broadly brings. So we're incredibly grateful to the council for your leadership and support on a number of key issues, including, as has been mentioned, the proposed expansion to the Beltway in 270, the climate crisis, which is exacerbating all of these stormwater issues, which are just flushing pollution and sediments through our waterways and into the Bay. And we look forward to working with you and the rest of our elected officials to make sure that we have a brighter future ahead. Thank you.
Thank you. And Sheldon, welcome.
Thank you very much, and thank you for this proclamation. My name is Sheldon Fishman. We raised our 4 children from this home in Montgomery County. I am representing the Montgomery County Climate Action Plan Coalition and its over 25 members organizations, including the Chesapeake Climate Action Network, the Sierra Club, MoCo Students for Climate, Bethesda Green, Friends of Sligo Creek. That's not a background, that's the window onto Sligo Creek Parkway. The CAP Coalition appreciates and recognizes the Montgomery County Council as a leader in protecting the Chesapeake Bay. Our county is nationally recognized for our stormwater management practices, including a focus on green streets, stream restoration projects, and the use of rain gardens. For example, Bethesda Green has a rainscape project at Glen Wayne Gardens condos in Silver Spring, all of which help to protect the Chesapeake Bay. Montgomery County is also known for being a real leader in agricultural practices that protect the Chesapeake Bay. Every farmer in the county must have a nutrient management plan and that has dramatically reduced the amount of fertilizer used in croplands. Manure also must be managed, talking about real manure, that it does not reach into our streams. We also have a high percentage of farmers using cover crops, which prevents erosion, and also stream buffers that protect streams with trees, shrubs, and grasses that lead to the Chesapeake Bay. Our county extension office helps each farmer develop a conservation plan, assist with technical guidance, and also help farmers and landowners get grants from local, state, and federal agencies to make those practices affordable. Your actions contribute to making the county a leader in bay-friendly agricultural practices. In summary, the preservation and restoration of the Chesapeake Bay is critical to the state and region's efforts to address the climate crisis. As a result, we thank President Hucker, Council members Abanez, Friedson, Glass, Jawando, Katz, Navarro, Rice, and Reamer for their leadership in supporting these initiatives in our county. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sheldon. Thanks again to all of you. Without further ado, let me read the proclamation. Whereas Chesapeake Bay Week, held every April, is a celebration of the history, importance, and grandeur of the Chesapeake Bay, and a reminder of our work to maintain this national treasure. And whereas the Chesapeake Bay is the largest estuary in the United States, which supports more than 18 million people who live, work, and play within the watershed, and 10 million people who live along or near the bay's shores. And whereas the Chesapeake Bay was formed 12,000 years ago, when glaciers melted and flooded the Susquehanna River Valley, and is named after the Algonquin word Chesapeake, meaning Great Shellfish Bay. And whereas the Chesapeake Bay is a complex body of water that's deeply studied by the scientific community to reverse the degradation of water quality, which has contributed to the decline of the bay's living resources. And whereas we continue to work to ensure that Chesapeake Bay and its tributary rivers are free from toxic contaminants, have healthy oxygen levels, can serve as a valuable habitat for both terrestrial and aquatic life, and is in good overall health as measured by established water quality standards. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the County Council of Montgomery County, Maryland, hereby recognizes the week of April 18th to 24th as Chesapeake Bay Week, presented on the 20th day of April in the year of 2021, signed by myself. Thank you all so much for joining us, and more importantly, thank you all for your contributions to the Bay. I'm sure we'll see many of you in a couple days for Earth Day. Thank you so much.